Welcome, everybody, to Richmond Raceway. My name is Josh Hall. This is Intensity Broadcasting's live coverage of the SCSRA Mayse Construction Truck Series here on iRacing. We got about 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here in practice. Let's take a look at the points coming into tonight. See, Cody Moore getting the win last week puts him above the cut line with the win. You see the cut line, though. Eddie Morris, Devin Bacino, Kyle Mayse, Blake Hensley, Joe Wright, Brett Merle. They're above the cut line currently. Brian Merle, Will Witt, Jake McCartney, and Todd Mayse down below. You see the points on the left side. So winning, you're in this round. That's what one driver is looking to do here tonight. See Blake Hensley out on track right now, and we'll see on the tower and on the ticker, any of the drivers highlighted in bright green are going to be your playoff drivers. So we got about a minute left here in practice before we get underway. Apologize, having a little issue here on my end. There we go. We got about, it looks like qualifying is about to begin here at Richmond Raceway. And Richmond, D-shaped oval in Richmond, Virginia. Very, very fun track to run. Tricky track, though. The track loosens up over the run. We'll see drivers getting very loose here tonight as we see our first driver taking the track. And that is the 51 of Zachary Cox. Dustin Dean also out on track. Good to see Dustin back in the league as he gets a little loose there down into turn number 1. Brett Merle, one of our playoff drivers. New paint job for Brett in that 11 machine as well. So a couple new paint jobs, but we'll be able to recognize our playoff drivers. Ooh, as Brett's hard up into the wall. We'll be able to recognize our playoff drivers by the green spoilers, green banners, and the green numbers on their trucks. Michael Provolt comes across the line. He's going to jump up into the second position currently. Derek Chaput is one of our playoff drivers, but he's not popping up green on my screen. So let me see if I can get that fixed on my end. Joe Wright just went P2 on the board. As Joe has a little connection issue there, and he blinks out as we see Chaput. Oh, loses it off the corner. Jake McCarty, one of the Rookie of the Year contenders, also in the playoffs here tonight. Will Witt just making his way out onto the track. I apologize for the silence as I'm trying to figure out the points here tonight. I was looking at the wrong standings. That's why Chaput is in the Xfinity Championship and not the Truck Championship, as Will Witt goes to the top of the board. See, Brian Merle Jr. just came across the line. He is currently 5th fastest. Oh, gets loose off of turn number 2. You'll see that a lot here tonight. Drivers getting loose up off the corner. As Junior is going to go P5. Kyle Mayse just took the white flag on his qualifying attempt. Kyle does not have the green banner, but he is in the playoffs, and you'll see his green highlighted name up on the ticker and on the tower here tonight. I apologize. My brain is just not working here tonight as he goes 7th fastest. Cody Moore getting ready to roll off on track. Of course, I want to thank everybody who's watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Let us know who you're rooting for here tonight. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. As our couple drivers still left to qualify, we see Cody Moore coming across the line to take the white flag. He's going to jump up into the 10th position. Off of turn number 4. And Cody is going to go P1. See David Hartney now making his way around track. We'll ride along with Dave here. He makes his way down into turn number 1. You want to be right down on that yellow line. Accelerating, straighten the wheel off. Ooh, big wiggle out of Hartney there coming off of turn number 2. Down the straightaway, then heavy braking again down to the line for turns 3 and 4. Gets really loose there as you see Hartney get real loose there. It's really easy to lose the back end of the car there as he'll have one more lap to try it again. Currently up in the 13th position. And great view of the hands here. You can see just how much he's working the wheel there off of turn number 2 and down into turn 3. You see him Seeing the truck really rotate there. So he's going to go P13. We see Devin Bacino now coming down the backstretch on his qualifying attempt on his white flag lap. And Bacino is going to come off of turn number 4, and he's come across the stripe in the 3rd position. So just one truck, 2 trucks left to qualify. One of those being the 99 of Clint Stone, who is your points leader, but not quite locked into the round of 8 just yet. Looking to do so with a win here tonight. White flag is in the air for Stone. Currently in the 15th position, as he's able to do here on his 2nd lap. And across the line, he's going to jump up to the top of the board. So with about a minute left here in qualifying, looks like Mark Shavers is not going to make his way out onto the track. So again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. We want to thank Mayse Construction for being the season sponsor and for coming on again next season to re-sponsor the Truck Series. Of course, we also want to thank our great partner over at the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, as I mentioned always, I do have the Gamer Plus myself, and really, really neat product. Lets me feel everything going on in the car. Lets me feel when the tires are sliding, when I lock up the brakes, every gear shift, every engine rev, every rumple strip at road courses. So if you're looking for that extra little piece of immersion or something that will help you be a little bit better without having to get a motion rig, check out thebuttkicker.com. Well, trucks are gridding up on the front stretch, so let's take a look at our starting grid. And starting on pole tonight is the 99 of Clint Stone. Blake Hensley will roll off from P2. Cody Moore in the 3rd position with Devin Bacino starting in 4th. In 5th, we'll find William Walter Witt the 5th with Jake McCartney in the 6th position. Then Eddie Morris and Brian Canuti will round out row number 4. Row 5, your top 10 will be Dustin Dean in the 21 and Brian Merle Jr. in the 74. Playoff drivers Joseph Wright and Kyle Mayse will roll off 11th and 12th. 13th will be Michael Provolt and David Hartney in the 14th position. 15th is Dave Wright with Derek Chaput in the 16th position. And then Zachary Cox, Brett Merle, and Mark Shavers will round out the rest of the field here tonight at Richmond. So as the field finishes getting gridded up here, don't forget your playoff drivers will have the green banners, the green numbers, and the green spoilers out there tonight. They will also be highlighted in green on the ticker. So if you're looking for your favorite playoff driver, you can see exactly where they are. As the field starts rolling for the first of 2 pace laps here at Richmond, don't forget to join us tomorrow night as well as the playoffs continue in the Xfinity Series, brought to you by Dev Sports Cards. Tomorrow night, the Xfinity Series will be taking on Kansas Motor Speedway for 125 laps. Atman Weiss will have the call on that one as well. So as we get ready for one more pace lap here tonight. Field making their way through turns 3 and 4, and we're getting ready for the pace car to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road, and there it goes. Clint Stone's going to lead them down to the green flag with Blake Hensley on the outside. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here tonight at Richmond, and already side by side for the lead down into turn number 1. Clint Stone with the advantage down on the low side. Cody Moore getting his way around. Oh, gets loose there on the low side underneath Pacino. That's going to allow Butch to get right back by. Cody Moore's going to have to slide back into that third position. So Butchino, lucky that Cody Moore was able to hold on to it and not slide up the track a little further back. Brian Canuti now battling with Eddie Morris, and Morris able to slide on by. Here comes Dustin Dean down to the inside of Canuti, but he's going to tuck back in line. Just behind Joseph Wright. This is his home track. Looking down underneath the 10 of Jake McCarty. It's already drivers starting to get single file here. Short track racing. We're going to see a lot of beating and banging here tonight as Butchino has caught the 88 of Hensley, trying to take over that second position. Right there on the back bumper as they come down into turns 3 and 4. Of course, all 4 drivers of Neon Racing in the playoffs here tonight. You'll see all their names sliding across the top there. Devin Butchino, Brian Merle Jr., Brett Merle, and Jake McCarty all in the playoffs here. But at the same time, 2 of those drivers just barely below the cut line, that being Jake McCarty and Brian Merle Jr. Zachary Cox looking down to the inside of Derek Chaput. Chaput, though, able to stay out in front of the 51. And Brian Merle Jr. running down his teammate, Jake McCarty. Again, these 2 below the cut line, trying to lock themselves into the round of 8. And for those watching at home and wondering, chastaining around this track will not work. It's been tried in practice, and they will not be able to do that here tonight as Butchino continues to try to run down the 88 of Blake Hensley. This is about the time in the run, lap number 10, where the tires start to fade just a little bit. This is the first point in the run where the tires really show their wear. Right now, Clint Stone running away from Blake Hensley and Devin Butchino. As Butch tries to take another look down to the inside of Hensley, but just not close enough to make that move happen. Oh, throws a little, puts the bumper to Hensley just a little bit, tries to get him out of shape. Just to kind of let him know he's there. Up in the Northeast here where I'm from, there's a driver who pioneered that. Ted Christopher, the late Ted Christopher, he used to say the 3-bump method. The first bump was to let you know he was there. The second bump was to let you know he was faster. And the third bump usually puts you into the wall. Now Hensley starting to pull away from Butchino just a little bit. Kyle Mayse running down Brian Merle Jr., another playoff driver, trying to move himself into the round of 8. Currently, Kyle is 7 points above the cut line. And with Brian Merle Jr. being 2 points below the cut line, Jr.'s trying to do everything he can to hold off that 55 machine. Mayse looking down to the inside. And he's going to clear Jr. off of turn number 2. And right behind we see David Hartney, who's not in the playoff picture, but trying to get himself a good finish and possibly his first SCSRA win here tonight. Brian Canuti running down the 8 of Eddie Morris with Dustin Dean in tow. Of course, all these drivers here, Eddie Morris, Dustin Dean, and Brian Canuti running nose to tail, all teammates. As Canuti's taking a look down to the inside of Eddie Morris. Canuti trying to take over that 6th position, and he will easily take that position away as Eddie Morris is going to stay up high, and Dustin Dean looked at trying to make his way on by as well, but he's going to tuck back in line behind Eddie. Just in front, we see Wasted Wages teammates Cody Moore and Will Witt battling for the 4th and 5th position. Taking a look off the back bumper of Cody Moore. Eddie Morris, Dustin Dean. Oh, Morris up into the wall. Makes some contact. And Joseph Wright right there as well. So all 4 of the Cheeseless Cracker Motorsports drivers nose to tail with Brian Canuti, Dustin Dean, Eddie Morris, and Joseph Wright all running 6th through 9th. And Dave Hartney now looking up to the outside of Kyle Mayse. As Hartney is going to make his way right on by, move himself up into the 11th position. We got a little break in the action. Let's do a little thing I like to call pumping up the intensity. We are coming up to the end of the stage. You see Hartney trying to move himself around Jake McCartney, get up into the top 10. Up front, though, Clint Stone continues to lead over Blake Hensley. Although Hensley's right there trying to run down that 99 machine. This battle continues now between McCarty and Mayse. Kyle Mayse trying to get around. He does get around McCarty. And Joseph Wright has Dustin Dean and just swap positions. So move right around both Eddie Morris and Dustin Dean as he's moved himself up into the 7th position. As we work lap 30 of 130. Dustin Dean running down Eddie Morris. Actually, I take it back. Eddie Morris just getting around Dustin Dean. So Dean slides back into the 9th position. Oh, Dustin's trying to find his way back towards Eddie here. And Clint Stone continues to run about a half a second ahead of Blake Hensley. Hensley was starting to run down that 99 machine, but now Clint's been able to pull back away. Derek Chaput and Michael Provolt going at it here. It's for 17th and 18th. They are side by side, and Chaput going to get around the 95 of Provolt. Hartney now within a second of Dustin Dean, trying to run down that 9th place driver, as we are coming to lap number 35. And caution is out. And it looks like it might be for Brian Merle Jr., who slowed down on the inside. And that is going to bring out our first Wreckage Rewind of the night. You take a look to see what happened to Brian Merle Jr. here. See Dave Wright right behind. Oh, Junior just gets way out of shape. Almost loses it right in front of David Wright. Tries to correct it and just gets behind the steering just a little bit. We see that 74 nose into the inside wall. So that brings out our caution here tonight. So Clint Stone, your leader. I'm sure he's going to lead the field down on the pit road. So far, no takers down on the pit road. So we have a moment. We want to take a moment to thank our great partners here in the SCSRA, including Mayse Construction for sponsoring the Tuesday Night Truck Series and Dev Sports Cards for sponsoring the Wednesday Night Xfinity Series. Of course, we want to thank our great sponsors as well, Butt Kicker and RaceEPI.com, as well as check out our web store to help support us over at IntensityBroadcasting.com. You can find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, novelty t-shirts as well, not just of Intensity Broadcasting gear, but all of our great leagues, and again, some of our novelty t-shirts as well, including our best-selling option, Cautions Breed Cautions t-shirt. So you can check that out over at IntensityBroadcasting.com. So lights on the pace car should be shutting off this time by. Clint Stone's going to choose the inside, putting Blake Hensley up on the outside. Devin Butchino and Cody Moore will be in row number 2. And Blake Hensley having a little connection issue you see there. Brian Merle Jr. makes his way down on the pit road. We haven't been able to call Blake blink for a while, but we see him blinking out there on the racetrack. Looks like his connection's settled back down. As the pace car is down on pit road. Down to the restarts. Oh, big wiggle. Couple drivers spinning tires on the start, including Blake Hensley, who's up on the high side. He's fallen way back. That's going to move Devin Butchino up into the second position, and Hensley just not able to get that truck rolling. He's fallen all the way back into the 5th position, trying to get back around Will Witt. Eddie Morris right there behind as well. Eddie almost gets into the back of the 88. It's Clint Stone now has Devin Butchino trying to run him down, and Cody Moore right there as well. Joe Wright has Zachary Cox down to the inside. Dave Hartney right behind. We see Brian Canuti in here as well. Canuti did come down pit road. So a couple drivers on fresh tires. Brian Canuti, Jake McCartney, Brett Merle, Kyle Mayse, and Dustin Dean all came down on the pit road and took new tires. Oh, David Wright gets loose, catches the inside wall. Able to continue on as Blake Hensley battles side by side with Eddie Morris. Morris trying to battle up on that high side, trying to get the momentum off the corner to try to stay out in front of the 88. A couple playoff drivers trying to get every point they can here tonight. Down to the stripe, and now we look at McCartney trying to make it 3 wide down underneath Blake Hensley, and Brett Merle's going to follow him through. Now, these two drivers are on fresh tires, so we're seeing what those fresh tires can do. As Merle made that big move, now he's looking down to the inside of Will Witt as the caution comes out for the stage. Clint Stone will be your stage winner over Devin Butchino, Cody Moore, Will Witt, Jake McCartney. Brett Merle comes back into 6th with those fresh tires along with McCartney. So a couple good points for those drivers getting stage points. Eddie Morris in 7th, Dustin Dean 8th, Kyle Mayse, and Joe Wright your top 10. I believe Blake Hensley may have been dropped from the server. As the field makes their way down on the pit road, minus the drivers who have already been down on pit road. Jake McCartney, Dustin Dean, Brian Canuti all staying out. A couple drivers who did come down pit road earlier are on pit road. Looks like they're just taking a splash of fuel. As we'll watch for the race off pit road. Ooh, I apologize for that popping up. See Merle come off pit road first. Kyle Mayse off pit road as well. Eddie Morris, Joe Wright, Zachary Cox. So Jake McCartney, Dustin Dean, Brian Canuti out front. And while we got a moment, let's drag in one of our drivers here, Devin Butchino. Hey, Devin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Josh. How you doing?
Man, great run for you in that first stage there. As the track seems to be getting really slick out there. We saw Cody Moore get a little loose there underneath you earlier. How's the track conditions and the tires out there so far tonight?
Yeah, tires are definitely huge. I mean, it's just classic Richmond where it wants to push in the center and then come exit. It wants to slide out of nowhere. Back end wants to come around. But if we stay green like we were, it's definitely going to be huge to manage those tires. I like the speed we had at the end of that. Running behind Clint. Clint's been really fast, but passing's really tough too. I know I was trying to get around Blake, so tires are definitely going to be huge as we finish this one.
Well, good luck the rest of the way out, and like I said, I'm looking for a wild one. You think you might have anything for Clint here tonight?
I think so. If the cards fall right, I think we'll have a shot at the end.
Yeah, and a great stage for Neon Racing in general. You had Jake McCartney up there, using those tires to get himself up there. So good luck the rest of the way out, and we hope to talk to you at the end.
Appreciate it, Josh. Thank you.
So as the field stacks up double file, Jake McCarty will take the inside lane. Dustin Dean up to the outside. Then Brian Canuti and Brett Merle back in row number 2. Kyle Mayse and Clint Stone back in row 3. And we'll see how quickly Clint can get his way back through the field here with these drivers who have just a few lap fresher tires, or older tires, excuse me. But here we go. Pace car is on pit road. Jake McCarty is going to lead him down to the Geico restart zone. Green flags in the air. We are back racing here, and a big jump for McCarty as Brian Canuti makes the move down underneath his teammate, Dustin Dean. Here comes Brett Merle trying to make a move down underneath Dean as well. Clint Stone up on that high side. He's going to get trapped behind Dean as Brian Canuti makes the move, and a big wiggle. I think that was Cody Moore out of shape as they're 3 wide back here, and Brian Canuti taking the lead away from Jake McCarty. And wow, a lot of things happening all at once as Dustin Dean is trying to get around McCarty as well, take over that second position. Cody Moore trying to gather things up as he got really loose there and slid back a little bit. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened to Cody here. If we take a look at the replay, Cody just got really loose, and Will Witt was able to get right on by along with a couple other drivers. Devin Butchino fighting to the outside of teammate Brett Merle, trying to move himself up into the top 5, and he will, as Merle now has to compete with the 55 of Kyle Mayse looking to the outside. Cody Moore looks like he's got that truck back under control. So he's going to try to find his way around these two drivers out in front. Clint Stone has already driven himself up into the 3rd position. He's trying to size up the 21 of Dustin Dean to try to make that move up into 2nd. As Devin Butchino battles with teammate and rookie contender Jake McCarty. So Clint Stone basically has the Rookie of the Year locked up. He was the points leader for most of the season as he's gotten his way around Dustin Dean and up into the 2nd position. Now he's going to have to try to find a way around this 28 of Brian Canuti, and Canuti will not be giving up that position all that easily. Now, Canuti not in the Truck Series Championship, but is in the Xfinity Series Championship hunt. We'll see what Canuti can do here to keep Clint Stone behind. But Stone makes the move down to the inside. Fighting back, though, on the high side. Great battle here. Side by side down into turns 3 and 4. Canuti, though, is going to have to give up that position and slide back into the 2nd spot. A little further back, we see a battle up here between Kyle Mayse and Eddie Morse. See all those green banners all together here. Joe Wright making his way around Brett Merle, and Brian Merle Jr. back here as well. So Brett stayed out there. He does have a little bit older tires than some of these other drivers, but we can see just what those 10-lap older tires are really doing to these drivers. We talked about that 10-lap kind of be, or lap 10 of the run kind of being where the tires start to show their age. And we're seeing exactly that. It's Cody Moore and Jake McCarty are battling side by side. McCarty also on older tires by about 10 laps. Clint Stone, though, out in front, just pulling away from 2nd place Brian Canuti. The gap is almost a 2nd, as Canuti's got Devin Butchino right there on the back bumper. As Butch is going to slide right up into the 2nd position. Dustin Dean, Cody Moore battling it out with Eddie Morris right there behind. A side-by-side battle between McCarty and Will Witt. Well, Morris making his way around the high side of Dustin Dean. And Will Witt going around Dean on the high side as well. So seeing drivers able to use that high side as well. Logan Clark says shout out to Devin Butchino as well. Devin currently up in the 2nd position. Got around Brian Canuti. Trying to run down Clint Stone, but Clint currently showing so much speed. Just over a 2nd as the Merle brothers battle side by side with Zachary Cox right behind. Ooh, big wiggle out of Junior. As Cox looks up to the high side. And here comes Derek Chaput. Up on that high side as well. Michael Provolt coming through here. as Cox dives it down underneath the 11 of Brett Merle. Down into turn number 1. And now Michael Provolt thought about trying to make it 3 wide there on Merle and Cox. And see Merle right there giving the bumper to Cox. As Cox gets a little loose there down into turn number 1, but he's able to rotate that truck and move himself up into the 12th position. Jake McCarty currently running solidly in the 9th position. Just got a shout out by Mad Max Sim Racing on the YouTube. Appreciate the shout out there as well. Jake having a great run. Up into the top 10, using a little strategy. Currently 10 lap older tires than everybody else, but solidly up into the top 10 as Will Witt and Eddie Morris are now side by side. This is a battle for 5th. And Will's going to slide around the 8 of Morris, and now he's going to set his sights on Brian Canuti. So Morris now trying to fight back on the inside, but just not strong enough to try to make that move. Will now down to the inside of Canuti. And Will Witt trying to move himself up into 4th. There's now Wasted Wages teammates Cody Moore and Will Witt run 3rd and 4th. Cody getting the win last week, locked into the next round. Just trying to get some bonus points here tonight, trying to move himself in a better position for the next round. As Eddie Morris now moves around Brian Canuti. Again, those 10-lap older tires are really starting to show on Canuti, and Canuti's got a little bit of damage to the right side of that truck. We see that truck's been up into the wall, so that's slowing him down a little bit as well. I tried doing it earlier, but we were coming up on the stage, so let's go ahead and pump up that intensity one more time. Oh, Brian Canuti down on pit road, so that's going to change things a little bit, mix up the standings a little bit here tonight. But here we go. Let's go ahead and pump up that intensity. Devin Butchino has Cody Moore all over the back bumper. As we come back to the action. Both playoff drivers trying to move themselves into the round of 8. Cody Moore already in that round of 8. At the moment, Clint Stone looks like he's going to automatically advance if he wins here tonight. Right now has a commanding 2.5-second lead as these two go side by side down into turns 3 and 4. Buccino, though, able to hold off on the high side as Cody Moore almost drives up into the door of Devin Buccino as they are pretty much making contact off of turn number 2. Cody gets really loose there off of turn at number 2. He's going to pound it in hard and force Butch up the track. Butch looked like he's wanted to try to cross him over as Will Witt's right there as well. So hard racing here up front. Again, Cody Moore already locked in. Doesn't need to really do anything because he's already advanced on to the next round. So here goes Will Witt down to the inside of Devin Buccino. And Cody Moore tries to run down the 99 of Clint Stone. You take a look at the lap times between Cody Moore, Clint Stone, and Will Witt. See, only Will Witt was faster than Stone on lap 80. Cody Moore was a little faster than Stone on lap 79, but since then, both drivers starting to fall off of Clint Stone just a little bit. And yeah, Stone just a little too quick. Cody Moore and Will Witt, Devin Buccino hoping for a caution, try to bring the field back together to give themselves a chance. As Clint Stone's lead continues to grow to just over 3 seconds. Dave Hartney, Zachary Cox battling for position. This is a battle for 10th. A lot of damage to the right side of that 43. It looks like Hartney's able to continue marching forward. Doesn't look like too much damage. Oh, big slide out of the 43. And that is not going to help him try to gain time on the 51. But an incredible save out of the driver of the 43. So he's going to try to do it all over again as Zachary Cox is now catching Jake McCartney in that 9th position. He's going to look down to the inside. Dave Hartney right there as well. So McCartney and Hartney up on the high lane. Cox down on the low side. Cox is going to push right on through. Hartney is going to try to take that advantage as well of having McCarty up on the high side. And he's going to move up into the 10th position. And now Hartney is going to pound it down inside of Cox. As these two continue to battle side by side. Ooh, Cox catches the wall just a little bit. That's going to allow Hartney and McCarty to go back on by. So move Hartney up into the 9th position. See Will Witt here pulling away from Devin Buccino, but at the same time, his teammate Cody Moore pulling away from him. As we are coming to the closing laps of the race, of course, does anybody have to come back down pit road one last time as they're working around the lap truck of David Wright. And will lap traffic play any kind of factor here tonight as well? Clint Stone out front, catching the lap truck of Derek Chaput and Brett Merle in front of him. Devin Bucciano now looking down to the inside of Will Witt, trying to take over that third position. So Bucciano showing some late run speed, and Brian Canuti on fresher tires trying to make his way through here as well. So you can see just what fresher tires are going to do for you. Canuti's able to drive right on by Devin Bucciano, not for position, but Canuti trying to get himself back up onto the lead lap. Currently running the fastest laps on the track. He's running about 0.3 quicker than your leader, Clint Stone, as he makes his way around David Wright. Derek Chaput just got put a lap down, so he will be your lucky dog contender if the yellow was to come out. Clint Stone, though, running down the 11 of Brett Merle. Right now, only 13 cars on the lead lap. Eddie Morris with a hint of speed here. He's running down the 35 of Will Witt. Looks like Will may just burnt his stuff off just a little too much. Will lets Eddie right on by, so Eddie up into the 4th position. Zachary Cox looking back down underneath McCartney. McCarty holding on that high side for now. Michael Provolt right there as well. Provolt thought about making it 3 wide for a second. He gets around McCarty. Right behind, you see the leader, Clint Stone, coming as Brian Merle Jr. makes his way down to pit road. So we were wondering if drivers were going to have to make their way down to pit road. We're starting to see a couple drivers making their way. Brian Merle Jr. down on pit road, and we saw Brian Canuti hit pit road back on lap 73, along with Dustin Dean. Of course, we know Brett Merle is fighting for his playoffs here, so he might fight the leader just a little bit harder for that position than you might normally see, but now Clint's just too quick down on that low side. He's going to get right around. And now he's going to try to look down underneath Michael Provolt as we're out. So now you got to go 6 seconds back. Second place, Cody Moore. Then Devin Bucciano is another 2 seconds behind Cody, with a hard-charging Eddie Morris trying to run down Devin Bucciano to get himself up onto the podium. Canuti now running down Derek Chaput. Trying to do everything he can to try to run down Clint Stone to get himself back onto the lead lap. While Clint's looking to make the put down the 9th place driver 1 lap. Michael Provolt now makes his way down onto pit road. Eddie Morris, again, showing this late run speed as the green flag laps tick off. Running down Devin Butchno, trying to get himself up onto the podium with just 25 laps to go. Jake McCarty hits pit road. There goes Devin Butchno down onto pit road. Will Witt also hitting pit road. Dave Hartney on pit road. Dave Wright on pit road. As Clint Stone stays out. Continues to lead. So green flag pit stops taking place, and this could really shuffle up the order as we see Devin Butchno on pit road. It looked like he might have came in a little hot, but no, he's down and away and back on track. And we saw it earlier in the run when fresh tires came back out on track. We did see a couple drivers get a little loose on those cold tires, so we'll be watching for that as Brian Canuti has driven his way back up to Zachary Cox. He's got Brian Merle Jr., who is just on pit road, so Jr.'s got much fresher tires. And we're seeing Jr. running down the 99 of Clint Stone as Jake McCarty just had some issues. Oh! Brian Merle Jr.'s crash caution is out. I just took my eyes off the screen for a second. I believe Clint Stone, Clint Stone is around your leader. And that's going to bring out our wreckage rewind. First, we're going to start with what didn't bring out the caution. That was Jake McCarty having some issues here. Says he, just got loose there off of turn number 4. Went down sliding through John Deere country. Was able to hold on to it. But, man, this is what happened here is Brian Merle Jr. comes off the corner. He sees the leader, Clint Stone. Oh, Junior locked up going into the corner. Turns Stone around. So look off the back bumper of Clint Stone. So nothing Clint could do there. Currently on pit road, getting fresh tires, getting his reset done. And that's going to hand over the lead to Brian Canuti. Who is on older tires. He's going to come down pit road and get new rubber. So now the lead will be given to Cody Moore. Fortunately for Clint Stone, doesn't look like he lost too much time. Currently sits in second place. Once we get everything all squared away, we'll take you through the field, see where everybody's going to be restarting. So Cody Moore, currently your leader. See Devin Butchino is on the tail end of the lead lap, so he's going to take the wave around here and get himself back onto the tail end of the lead lap. So Cody Moore, your leader. Clint Stone going to restart second. Joseph Wright, another one of our playoff drivers, in the third position, and Eddie Morse in fourth. Kyle Mayse, playoff driver, in fifth. Brian Canuti, our first non-playoff driver, sitting back in the sixth position. Then Zachary Cox at the tail end of the lead lap in seventh. Brett Merle back on the lead lap in 8th. Dustin Dean in 9th. Then Devin Butchno in 10th. Will Witt in the 11th position. And then Derek Chaput, our first driver, 1 lap down in 12th. Michael Provolt currently running in 13th. Brian Merle Jr. after that incident running in 14th. Jake McCarty in the 15th position. David Hartney in 16th. David Wright in the 17th position. Blake Hensley, who disconnected on lap 44, in 18th. And Mark Shavers, who was not able to turn a lap, in 19th. So lights are off on the pace car. We're going to go back green flag racing. Pace car is going to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Green flag is back in the air. Joseph Wright already looking down to the inside, trying to take away that position from Clint Stone, but Clint too strong up on the high side. He's going to be able to slide in front of Joe Wright, but Joe Wright continuing to try to battle back here. Just behind, we saw Derek Chaput completely sideways underneath David Hartney. With 14 laps to go, Cody Moore continues to lead, but can he hold off Clint Stone in these closing laps? Kyle Mayse looking down underneath Eddie Morris, trying to take over that 5th position. Morris, though, too strong on the high side. Mayse got really loose there. He's going to have to tuck back in line behind the 8 of Eddie Morris. Zachary Cox looking down underneath Dustin Dean. Here comes Brian Merle Jr., who gets hit from behind by Michael Provolt. Provolt's going to have to check up to keep from, as Zachary Cox rides the wall through down the straightaway there. That's going to allow David Wright to look down underneath Zachary Cox. And just behind, Devin Butchino making his way through here as well. So now his looking down underneath Dave Wright, trying to get himself back to the front. He's got Dustin Dean 2 trucks in front of him, as Cody Moore has a fast charging Clint Stone, who is just a half a second back. Joe Wright has Eddie Morris all over the back bumper. Kyle Mayse right behind as well. Three wide racing, Jake McCarty, Brian Merle Jr., Dustin Dean were all just 3 wide in front of Will Witt. Now these drivers are a lap down, but they're battling for every point they can. Will Witt on the lead lap, sitting in 8th, and he's got a roadblock in front of him. He's trying to find his way through, but just not able to make his way past either one of these drivers. Now they get single file, and Will's going to try to dive down underneath McCarty, as he's going to try to follow McCarty right on through here. Brian Canuti and Devin Butchino side by side. Butch going to pull up into the 6th position. He's going to try to run down these drivers with just 8 laps to go. Don't know if there'll be enough time unless another caution comes out, as Joe Wright currently in the 3rd position in front of Eddie Morris. Kyle Mayse right here in the mix as well. Cody Moore out front. He's got a 2nd lead over Clint Stone. This is the first time all night we've seen Clint far behind another driver, as the battle for the last podium position is heating up. Eddie trying to fend off the 55 of Kyle Mayse. Kyle trying to keep his playoff hopes alive as well. Brett Merle down on pit road. Not sure what happened. Taking tires. Not sure what happened to Brett there. That's going to hurt his playoff chances, as Cody Moore is coming to the stripe to take 5 laps to go. Will Witt looking down underneath Brian Canuti. And Will able to pass Canuti without Canuti taking him out. Now we see Brett Merle on fresh tires, making his way right on by Joe Wright and Eddie Morris. Ooh, big wiggle out of the 11 of Merle, right in front of our leaders, battling for this final playoffs or a final podium position. Of course, this is the final race of the round of 12, so 4 drivers will be eliminated tonight. Zachary Cox now down coming onto pit road. Not really sure why people are making their way on the pit road with just 2 laps to go, but Eddie Morris still trying to get around Cody Moore, Joseph Wright. Cody Moore with a 2.5 lead over Clint Stone. Cody Moore coming to the stripe, just 1 lap to go. Clint Stone, again, a 2.5 back. Now that the white flag is out, the yellow flag has been put away. Down to the stripe through turns 3 and 4. Cody Moore is going to sweep the round. Clint Stone's going to come home second. Joe Wright is going to hold on to that final podium spot. Eddie Morris and Kyle Mayse round out your top 5. But it's all about your winner here tonight. Cody Moore getting the win last week, getting the win here tonight. As he's going to come down to the front stretch, they're going to get lined up, the top 3 for a photograph. Or maybe not, before Cody Moore burns it down and celebrates his win. See Joe Wright backing it up. Clint Stone's already disconnected. So Cody is going to celebrate his win here by burning it down here on the front stretch. And we get ready to take a look at the final results. And Cody Moore getting the win here tonight. Clint Stone in second. Joseph Wright in third. Eddie Morris, Kyle Mayse round out the top 5. Devin Bucciano comes home 6th. Will Witt 7th. Brian Canuti rebounds for an 8th place finish. Dustin Dean with a top 10 in 9th. And Derek Chaput rounding out your top 10. Jake McCarty in 11th. Brian Merle Jr. 12th. Michael Provo, Brett Merle, and David Hartney your top 15. 16th will be Zachary Cox. Dave Wright in 17th. Blake Hensley comes home 18th, and Mark Shavers rounds out the field here tonight at Richmond. As Cody Moore takes that Polish victory lap. And we get ready to talk to our top 3. Starting with your 3rd place finisher here tonight, Joe Wright. Joe, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Oh, Joshy, boy, I got you, buddy.
Man, great job here tonight getting the podium here at one of your favorite tracks. Slick track out there, though, tonight. We saw a lot of beating and banging and a lot of rough racing there tonight. Talk us through your race and how'd you get yourself up on the podium?
Oh, yeah, I mean, just consistency, man. If you looked at my lap times, I think consistency was the key for me tonight. Started off slow, continued to be slow. When everybody else fell off, I was able to run people down at times. And then in that last stint, I had been saving fuel. I actually was able to save enough. I was down to zero 0.5 needed to be added, so I think I would have been able to actually make it to the end there, Josh, and it would have been a fuel run for me. But P3, I'll take it. It's good for the playoffs. So
For sure. Looks like you are solidly into the round of 8. Fuel, you were talking about the fuel. I didn't realize the fuel was so tight. I saw drivers pitting with about 4 laps to go. What just the way the caution fell, were you kind of surprised it came down to fuel and having so little cautions?
yeah, I mean, I think I remember Logan Hagerman actually stretching it out here one time, popping the clutch in and rolling it around the bottom. And I thought about that about halfway through the run, started checking fuel, and you know me and the fuel game, so that's what I like to do when I'm out there. So, but congrats to Cody on the W. I feel bad for Clint; they're getting taken out, but he still got it home second. So good job to him. Shout out to CCM and all the boys over there, Nudie, Blake, Eddie, and now Dustin Dean as well. So thanks to those guys for hanging out and all that fun stuff.
Well, you took away my do you have any shout outs gig, but no, great job here tonight.
Well, the shout outs got to go to Intensity Broadcasting and you guys up in the booth, as well as my homie Atman, who couldn't make it tonight, I guess. But yeah, shout out to all you guys. Thanks a lot for everything.
Great.
And shout out to Mayse Construction for supporting the league as well.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium. Good to see you up there, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again as soon as the playoffs roll on for the rest of the season here. I was going to say I thought we were going to roll on the Dega, but that's Xfinity, not here. But I know you have that circled on the Xfinity calendar for sure.
For sure, just trying to go get a win there. I'm not in the playoffs, so it'll be fun. All right, thanks, Josh.
Have a great night. That was your 3rd place finisher, Joe Wright. Let's bring in your 2nd place finisher here, the 99 of Clint Stone. Clint, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, kind of a heartbreak there. Lap car. Looked like he locked up his wheels. I don't know if you went back and saw the replay yet, but looked like he just locked up getting into the corner. Fortunately, making contact with you, taking the win away, but still a 2nd place finish is good for the points in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, I guess so.
I know you're really going for that win here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Richmond's one of my worst tracks, so I don't know. I was good to the end. Everybody was pitting. I don't know if Cody and then we're gonna pit, but I really wanted to see what was gonna happen. I wanted to see if I could lap the field. I mean, it just never happened.
So you say you were good on fuel. I know a lot of drivers were running out there. Did you have enough to the end if the yellow didn't come out?
Yeah, I saved at the beginning. We had like 5 cars to pass, and I pushed it hard trying to get by Nudie, but yeah. Other than that, I just kind of saved tire and yeah.
Well, we hear the disappointment in your voice here tonight, but a great run overall. Before we let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, just all the Mayse guys and Mark, and yeah, you for putting on the broadcast.
I appreciate that, and good luck in the round of 8.
All right, appreciate it.
Have a great night. So that was your 2nd place finisher. You hear the disappointment in the voice of Clint Stone as he had that one kind of taken away from him as we get ready to talk to our winner here tonight, the 52, Cody Moore. Cody, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, buddy.
Man, great job here getting the win here tonight. Kind of surprising you were able to pull away from Clint there at the end. He said he was good to go on fuel to the end. How close were you if that yellow didn't come out?
Well, I was sitting there saving. I was looking at my fuel calculator thingy, and yeah, I mean, I had enough, but I was like, there's no way Clint's saving, because he was. I think he was still pulling me a little bit, but yeah, I mean, the guy's impressive. He was apparently saving, and yeah, it worked out.
At what he said, and I quote, his worst track. So he was able to salvage the finish. But man, kind of
Oh, stop it.
his exact words. You can go back and rewind the tape.
Oh, I believe he said it. I'm just saying that's ridiculous.
That's almost like Isaiah Gill just bought the track, right?
Right. Same thing.
But man, great job overall for the Wasted Wages team. Will Witt having a top 10 as well. Moving on into the playoffs, a round of 8. We got the next round coming. You swept this round. How do you like your chances in the next round?
I feel good. I just gotta figure out some way to either get Clint some food poisoning or something. If I can get Clint, I feel pretty good about it. I know Bacino has some speed, and there's a lot of good guys out here, but I really think Clint's probably the one to beat.
Yeah, we saw that big moment you had there off the caution where you completely lost it, almost completely lost it there underneath Butchino. Talk about the track. It seemed really, really slick out there tonight, especially off of turn 2.
Yeah, the setup was incredible. I really like the setup. It was a little tight. I made a mistake. I didn't have my brake bias turned down enough, so it really kind of hurt me throughout the runs there. But yeah, the track was fun. It was slick if you wanted it to be slick. Yeah, I love this track. So I if this is Clint's worst track and he just has that kind of speed, then I need to go reevaluate my life or something.
Well, great job again. Before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out, any sponsors or thanks you want to give?
Oh, of course, always. I want to start out tonight by thanking Junior. I did not put him up to that, but I do appreciate you handing me a win. Clint, that's brutal. Sorry that happened to you. I do not want to win races that way, but at the same time, I'll take it. Want to thank my beautiful wife, Maggie, my emotional support proxy wife, Cassie Willems, my 2 kids that allow me to do this, Papa Moore watching at home, all the Veritonians out there, everyone at Wasted Wages Racing, Mick for giving us these awesome paints. I even got the 8 on my truck. I know the league's going to be happy. Thank you to the 13 admins we have in the league. You guys do a great job. We really appreciate it. And other than that, intensity, you guys rock. And Josh, we appreciate you doing this.
I appreciate that. And we look forward to seeing if you can sweep the next round. So good luck to that. And we'll see you in the round of 8.
Oh, sorry, real quick. Dustin Dean sucks.
I was waiting for it. And now it's so much more powerful with him back in the field.
It is.
Well, again, congratulations. And we'll talk to you soon. There you have it. Your winner here tonight, Cody Moore. Squeaking out the win. Unfortunately, not the way he wanted to do it, but he'll take it to sweep the round of 12. Next week, we move on. If I had the right schedule up, we'd be good to go. Next week, we move on to Kansas for 122 laps, then California, then we'll cut it down to 4 for our championship race at Chicagoland. So just 3 more races to go here in the season. Can Cody Moore continue to dominate here in the playoffs, or can Clint Stone catch a break and get himself back up to the top? We'll see as the season goes on. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you coming out and joining us here. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. We want to thank Mayse Construction for being the series sponsor. We appreciate them coming on board. We want to thank all the league admins of the SCSRA as well. Don't forget to check out our great partners down below at raceepi.com, as well as thebuttkicker.com for all your gaming haptic needs. Check out our web store at intensitybroadcasting.com. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over